5 reasons you can't get consistent points on your quilt blocks. Okay, guys and dolls, let's talk about why your quilt points don't match. Because I promise you, it's not you and it's not your machine. It's these 5 things. Reason number 1, your seams aren't a scant 1/4 of an inch. You're sewing a full 1/4 of an inch seam, or maybe even a little bit wider, and that's eating up fabric with every single seam you sew. By the time you piece a whole block together, that tiny bit of extra seam allowance adds up, and now your block is smaller than it should be. Your points can't meet because the math is off. A scant 1/4 of an inch seam, that's just a thread's width smaller than a full 1/4 inch. It's the secret to blocks that actually fit together the way the pattern says they should. Save this because you're going to want to check yourself on all of these. Reason number 2, you're not nesting your seams. When you sew 2 pieced sections together, those seams need to lock into each other like puzzle pieces. One seam allowance goes one direction, the other goes the opposite direction, and then they nestle right into each other. If you're not doing that, the seams are just sitting on top of each other, and everything shifts. Nesting your seams is what makes your points meet exactly where they're supposed to. It's not magic, y'all. It's technique. If that one hits home, just wait for the next one. Number 3, you're ironing the seams instead of pressing them. Ironing means you're sliding that iron back and forth across the fabric, and that motion, it stretches and distorts the fabric, especially if it's cut on the bias. Pressing means you lift the iron and then press it straight down, then lift and move and then press down again. When you iron, you're literally stretching your block out of shape. That's a big one. So even if your seams were perfect, the block isn't square anymore, and your points aren't going to line up. Pressing means the block keeps the block true to size. Number 4, you're not pinning your seams. You line everything up perfectly, and then you send it through the machine, and the fabric shifts while it's moving. Without pins holding those seams in place, the top layer and the bottom layer don't feed through evenly. Pins keep everything locked exactly where you want it, so the points stay aligned all the way through the seam. Comment below which reason you're guilty of. I know I've done at least 3 of these myself when I was learning. You're not using a rotary cutter to cut your squares. That's number 5. You're using scissors, or you're eyeballing it, and even a tiny bit off. We're talking 1/16 of an inch. It multiplies across the block. When you piece 4 triangles together and each one is just slightly off, those tiny errors stack up and your points don't meet. A rotary cutter with a ruler gives you exact clean cuts every single time. And exact cuts mean consistent points. So those are the 5 reasons you can't get consistent points on your quilt blocks. If you recognize yourself in 2 or more of these, that's actually a good thing, because now you know exactly what to fix. DM me the word newsletter and to hear more weekly tips.